I saw Michelle's ad and figured I'd inquire to see what was going on exactly. And when she started explaining everything to me, that's when I started to think, you know, for a while it had been one of these, you keep things bottled up for so long and nobody really starts to, not necessarily learn from what happens to you, but you can't protect anybody, you can't do anything different. So I thought that, you know, by what she was doing, that maybe that would start to happen. Maybe there'd be some sort of conscious awareness kind of thing going. She was telling me about not necessarily different people's stories, but just different examples as to why this was important to her. And so I told her about me and my ex. We dated for a while. There's all sorts of elements of abuse, but the worst one with him was sexual abuse. And I told her that out of all of them, and there's enough, there's too many, the ones that stick out were obviously the first one, which was on my birthday. He wanted to surprise me for my birthday, apparently, when I woke up. He told me he wanted to give me 21 kisses, and I was not a morning person, completely aggravated, and said I didn't want 21 kisses. And I figured that at most we would probably just get into a fight. So I went and I made some cereal, and I started eating my breakfast, and shortly after, he came over to where I was sitting and I was watching the TV and everything. And kept trying to get the cereal bowl away from me. And I kept pushing him off and telling him to go away. And when I finally got up, because I couldn't, he wasn't just going away, he was just kept aggravating me, is when he knocked the cereal bowl out of my hand and became more aggressive. And at first, I thought it was just going to be a fight until he started like trying to pull my shorts down and everything else. And so I was already scared of him at that point in time. So I just tried to get away. I got into a disagreement one time with a friend of mine because she said that any woman who was ever beaten or ever raped or ever abused or anything was basically there and had it happen to her, and it was her fault. And I told her that I completely disagreed. When you're down on the ground and you're kicked and you're by yourself, there's only one person to help you get up, and that's you. And sometimes doing that, not sometimes, always doing that, it's the hardest thing a person can do, is to pick themselves up. With her group, maybe people won't have to do it by themselves so much. There are causes for breast cancer awareness. There's causes for autism. This is a cause that people need to be aware of. It hurts as much as any disease. And sometimes affects you and kills you even longer.